Now, this is a major one, because we're now going to look into their inner conflicts about you, about the situationship. And the reason why I say situationship, because this reading very much applies to people who are sitting in limbo, people who are waiting, people who are wanting answers to maybe move it into a relationship, but just sitting in that confusion of not really knowing why things are the way that they are. So we're now going to look into what's going on for them and why this is the way it is in terms of limbo, in terms of being on hold. So let me get the cards, give it a little bit of a shuffle, and let's dive in. I'm always excited regarding this, and remember, if you want a more tailored, in-depth reading, then just go across to my bio and all the links are there, and you can book a reading regarding love, wanting to know more about this and basically what's going on. Definitely, oh my God, I can't believe I did that instinctively, but I saw the card says prickly spiritual. No, not prickly spiritual. The card said prickly situation. And that's basically what's going on internally for them. And the situation isn't necessarily to do with you or anything to do, regarding you and them. It's more to do with them internally, where you have been doing your inner work and continue to do your inner work. And as a coach, I applaud that. Keep on doing that. But as you keep on doing that, and maybe have been doing it for quite a number of years and stuff, the trauma that's within them is something that I'm not going to lie and say that they've never been doing the inner work, but I think they're at a state or stage where what's going on currently for them is very much out of their comfort zone. And as I say those words, a little bit of it applies to you and the situation and this connection, but a lot of it applies to their own life, work, family, finances, friends, just put whatever you want to put it into the basket, but it's basically what's going on for them, minus the love part, the other parts of our lives that make us whole. It's all of those things that they are basically at the moment trying to get into balance. And I think this is where the key word inner work comes in. Sorry, I'm looking at the cards as I'm talking just to pick up a few, other things. What their realization is, and as a coach, one thing I always say to my clients, whether I'm reading for them or whether I'm coaching them, it's very much to do with it's very much to do with the you cannot get a balance of a 360 for your life. Your aim is to I almost want to say keep all the balls juggling at the same time, but not necessarily all at the same height, because you're going to catch one and then you're going to deal with that, and then that's going to be it, and then you throw, and then something happens and then that gets thrown up and then the next one comes down. So it could be that situations are regarding that you get your finances in order and then something happens with friends and family, or you get that one in order and then something happens with your career. So we are never 100% sitting there with all the balls, or we may be, but not everything about them is all in balance and perfect and things like that. And I think this is the part of their growth that they are not realizing, or that they're aware of, but because of their conditioning and stuff, they are kind of feeling that in order to step forward to you, they need to be their 360. And you're kind of like, you know what, I'll just take the 90. We can work on the other 270, 280, racist. I don't know my 9 times table. It just went out of my head, and I'm sitting there calculating what on 9, you know, what's the remaining after you take the 90 to make the 360. Oh my God, how funny is that? But you know the picture. I've just got so distracted and laughing in my head, I can't even do the sums anymore. And so we won't go there, but you know what I mean. So if they take the 90 out and think that the other 270, I'll go with the 270, that is enough for you to kind of be with them and maybe help them, maybe support them, and vice versa, then, you know, then it's all game. But you can't do anything about it, because the key words, it's their inner conflict, not your inner conflict. So what's the situation regarding what's going to be happening? Because ultimately this is a conflict that's been going on within them for quite some time, even probably before you came into the picture, but you've just accelerated it because you've given them a reason to really start questioning, a reason to step up. And as a result of it, this is kind of now going, yeah. It literally is an Inside Out, you know the cartoon Inside Out, where you've got those cartoon characters within you, kind of like you're happy, you're sad, you're general, you're, you know, love, kind of all of those. This is what I picture. And the panic, was it, what I can't remember, but the character that's always panicked and nervous, that's the one in my head I'm seeing going, because it literally is that kind of a situation going on in their head. And I just can't stop laughing because it literally is so funny. I can't stop laughing at it. But okay, so for you, so what does this mean for you? One, you maybe have a better understanding of where they're at. It might be seem really trivial to you. But remember, when it's your emotions, your stories that are attached to something, then it can be quite dramatic, emotional, because you're changing a behavior, you're changing, you know, so many things and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So kind of put yourself into their shoes and kind of look into what their journey feels like for them. And then maybe that might give you a little bit of empathy towards realizing their inner conflict and what the waiting is all about. But just know that the fact is that they are aware. This is in their conscious mind. It's not in the subconscious mind. This is in their conscious mind. And because it's in the conscious mind, as a coach, if you follow me, that means they are dealing with it. They are ready to deal with it. They are basically, it's like, you know, when you're untangling your Christmas lights or any kind of those string lights, when you're untangling them, that's basically the process that they're going through. And remember, the lights are not long like the Christmas lights. We are talking small. So they are, and they have been, even before you came into the picture, they were untangling everything, but it's now just accelerated the process. And as it's accelerating, that means they're coming nearer to you. So remember, if you want to know more about what's going on with them, what's going on internally, and how this can help you, or if you need more, you know, tailored, deeper guidance for yourself, remember to go to my bio. book that reading, but also remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, because that's always helpful too. That way you will know of my upcoming videos, but also you can pop over to our shop, and anything that can help you with that energy, with that relaxation, with anything to do with taking deep breaths while you're waiting for this is always a good thing. And with that said, I'll see you next time.